Sup everyone, I actually decided that it was about time I do a new update video. It's been quite some time and I apologize. We've been busy, a lot of crap's been going on, and I am so sorry for not uploading something until now. I have some fun information to share. I'm not really sure if this is confirmed to be true, but there's been a lot of rumors speculating around about the Pokemon Company possibly making new remakes, but not of 8th generation like people were thinking, or Sinnoh remakes per se, but remakes of the Kanto games that dated back in the 90s for the Game Boy and Game Boy Color, red, blue, green, and yellow version respectively. And I kind of wanted to make this video because I've been seeing a lot of debates on Facebook a lot lately these past couple of weeks about people being for or against it. Not saying any names because I don't want to have any enemies or hate comments in my YouTube channel at all, like I've said previously in older videos by this point. But I have a few theories as to why this might be. You see, those that have actually managed to finally play Pokemon Sun and Moon and beat the game have been aware for quite some time now that Lily, the daughter of Lusamine, tells you, the player, at the end of the game, once you beat like the Alola champion and all that mess that they had created at the last second with Professor Kukui's help, that she's gonna go travel to Kanto to go see Pokemon Trainer Bill to see if he can help her mother, Lusamine, get over this problem she had as far as having DNA of an unknown Pokemon still in her system because she got possessed by it, and they're trying to cure her of possibly being ill from it still. But they leave it at a cliffhanger, and you're not really sure, what's going to happen after that. And, in one of my videos, I had a theory about Pokemon Trainer Bill being the reason why Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is a thing. So my speculation to continue this further is I believe that by the Pokemon Company, if this speculation and rumor is true that they're going to make remakes of the original red, blue, yellow, and green version games, as I've stated, that they might actually be trying to do this on purpose because as you play these games, the main focus is probably going to revolve around you helping Lily help her mom recover from her ailment. And if this is the case, there are multiple directions that the company itself can go with this, because much like in the Diamond and Pearl and Platinum series, especially in Platinum, they made the Distortion World, where you traveled into an alternate dimension where Giratina was. And in Sun and Moon, they had the Ultra Space wormhole that the Ultra Beast Pokemon, space species lived in. So my speculation is if this is true, the main focus in the new remakes of the Kanto games is going to basically revolve around the main storyline having something to do with you traveling to Kanto yourself, playing as characters that aren't exactly Ash, but random characters, and most likely are going to involve somehow getting involved in Lily's endeavors of trying to heal her mother, which could result in option A, you go there in Cerulean City and find his cottage and find out that the experiment to extract the remaining Pokemon DNA backfires and she gets turned into a Pokemon and you have to help reverse the effects. B, she gets sent to an alternate universe, trapped as a Pokemon or in a Pokemon body, and you have to get turned into a Pokemon to actually fend off wild Pokemon in this alternate wormhole like they did in Platinum and Sun and Moon version. Or, a last idea, it could be that maybe, not only do they reveal what this machine that Pokemon Trainer Bill had is for, it may actually be closure for the whole idea of whether or not my theory was even true. Because like I mentioned, in my theory, I made up that Pokemon Trainer Bill is secretly being paid to turn humans into Pokemon for scientific experiments, because in Mystery Dungeon, they try to sugarcoat it and say that you become a Pokemon by magical means, but that's not logically true because that's improbable. Someone has to manually turn you into a Pokemon through DNA splicing and engineering for that to work, which takes man-made machinery and some type of technology. Things like that don't just magically happen. You have to alter the DNA ladder for that to work. And who's able to do that? Scientists. So technically, he's paid to do this with his machinery. So by the Pokemon Company going back to the Kanto games, they had a reason for this. Like, the reason why they didn't do this years ago was because they had no ulterior motive to focus on Pokemon Trainer Bill and his machine. But now that Lily and her mom has to travel back to see this exact guy who has this machine, they have an ulterior motive to focus on that main thing as a topic. So now they have a reason to focus on this. And so, with this being said, this may actually answer whether or not my theory is confirmed to be true that he's the reason why Mystery Dungeon exists. Because since the Kanto games were the first games that revealed him being turned into a Pokemon, it is highly probable that this is what the game's going to be about. My third and final idea that they could do with this is that in the middle of him trying to, reverse the effects of Lily's mother, the bad guys could, intervene at random and try to steal his machine to turn humans into Pokemon to use as slaves to, take over the world or something. Just like, a thought, like a creative idea. Because, once I heard from Facebook, because it was mainly from Facebook, from some friends that said that these rumors were spreading around, that that's what they were planning on doing instead of doing Sinnoh remakes and stuff, that this was going to be the plan. And honestly, think of it like this. I mean, having Kanto games in 3D is pretty cool, because we've never really had a legit Kanto game by itself, on its own in 3D for a 3DS. Because you have to remember, this is for Game Boy and Game Boy Color, and back then it was pixelated, and the icons didn't have as many colors until it hit Game Boy Color mode. And technically, people would argue that because you're able to download Pokemon Red, Blue, like the Red, Blue, and Yellow version from the Nintendo eShop thing on the 3DS, that should count, but it doesn't because it's still pixelated, like the old school versions. And another thing, they might even argue that Heart Gold and Soul Silver may have had a chance for you to see Kanto possibly in 3D, but now that I'm thinking back on it, I think they only focused on Johto as being the main continental area that you explored in 3D on that game. I don't recall it ever allowing you to go to Kanto in that, but it's been a while since I played it. So, with that being said, we have not actually had a legit Kanto-only Pokemon game in 3D. And here's the bigger question. With all this being revealed, and me just bringing this up to people's attention, this means, yes, I'm totally for them remaking Kanto into this, because it's going to answer a lot of unanswered questions that people from the Gen 1 beginning from the 90s may have asked a long time ago, especially with my theory that I mentioned at least a couple of times in this video. Because I've been dying to know if Pokemon Trainer Bill really is the reason why Mystery Dungeon exists, and like they said in the trailers for Sun and Moon, it all comes together. So if that's true, then that statement wasn't just said for no reason. There's a legit reason for all of this, and so I'm pretty sure that this is true. And if I was able to predict them making a reference to Pokemon Snap as a feature in Sun and Moon before they even made it a legit thing, then I'm pretty sure I'm on the right track with this. There's no way that I'd be wrong on this. I may not have gotten it correct that they were going to make a Pokemon Eclipse version, but I was still on the right track with some of what I said. So at least I know what I'm talking about. I mean, I could probably talk about this for hours. I'm just one of those crazy hyped up nerds for this, because I didn't even know that they were planning on possibly making remakes for this, honestly, and I'm just, excited. I'm really looking forward to seeing if this will finally answer my biggest theory question of all time, if he really is responsible for all that mess or not, because that will be one less thing to have to worry about. But my biggest question would be this. In the comment section, tell me what you guys think. Which ones would you prefer to see in 3D? Would you prefer to see red, blue, green, or even yellow version in 3D for the 3DS if this happens to be true. Because if it were me, I would have to personally say that since I started out with Gen 2, because I don't want you guys to think that I'm a Gen 1er, because I'm not. The first generation game I actually played was on Game Boy Color, purple one, was silver version for my birthday one year. And it was funny because a lot of the VHS Pokemon episodes I got for VHS were actually gold and silver, and gold version Pokemon